And welcome to the Raw Preview. We are the Dadley Boyz of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hamfler and Michael Sidgwick, here to look ahead to tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a very good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflet and Sidgwick to look ahead to Raw tonight. Really didn't think I was going to remember all that, to be honest, because it's been so long. But we are looking forward to all the fallout from Crown Jewel.
This guy, straight back in. It's not just for that intro and everything else, and fallout and putting things over that we've missed you. It's because you're able to do that without the knowledge of last week's Raw being a total stinker. And
that was real bad.
Real bad.
Yeah. I'm completely out of the loop on most things.
Crown Jewel, which obviously we'll talk about a little bit later, like also not being not so good, Al.
Poor.
Yeah, I've got measured at best expectations for this. Taped, but spoiler free.
Taped in Saudi,
Yeah,
saying?
on the Sunday. So,
right.
It'll air just normal. Don't worry, Americans. You go to your uppers and your downers, you'll find it. Like, not like NXT this week. Oh, I guess the wrestling's finished on Tuesdays.
See you later.
It was a hell of a run for wrestling on Tuesdays. But it was just poor last week. And the taped element, it's never the end of the world. However, in some respects, a lot of things have been timing out lately. You haven't been...
Yeah, the world's closing in.
Yeah. Sidge is rooting for that. I, on the other hand, at least want us to get to WrestleMania in one piece. But, yeah, lately, like, faith shaking a bit in the old process ski.
Feels like most major things are going on SmackDown right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
speed run.
Even then, taped ones.
It's the fastest thing Levesque's ever done in his life for some reason. So the Bloodline, Yeet happened on taped SmackDown.
Yes,
Roman
I saw that.
saying Yeet happened on taped SmackDown. It's obviously... I mean,
it's still goated anyway, but like...
I don't want to say obviously because we don't know, but maybe, we want the Bloodline on our show, some, Saudi interference. It just feels like they've done a speed run of this. I've blinked and everything's happened with the Bloodline saga. It's they haven't milked it, and usually that's 99% milk, 1% good.
My theory, I've delved into, like, Sidgwick's conspiracy corner for my own theory. That Triple H doesn't want to repeat of this year, and he's doing all his best story moments before The Rock comes back and just tears everything.
Makes sense.
What's The Rock doing this week? Well, The Rock will decide that. Thanks, Paul. And they have their now annual power struggle. So I think that's why we're rushing through.
I was talking to Andy on the news about this. Have you seen The Rock's new movie?
No.
I'm completely out of the loop of this, and then I just
Red one?
Yeah. The Rock,
Oh, yeah, I saw a trailer
big
for this.
polar bear, J.K. Simmons, and they're saving Christmas. Sign me up.
It's getting trashed, apparently.
Is it?
It's just the latest thing that Hollywood's turned on The Rock for, because apparently box office is shocking.
Doesn't look as good as Jumanji.
Is there another Jumanji coming?
No, I'm just talking about the
okay.
2017 reboot, which was absolutely spectacular,
And
as was Jumanji: The Next Level.
And there's a second Gladiator film.
Iterative
I'm a movie
sequel.
guy now.
I wasn't the first Gladiator guy, let alone. I'm not hyped for the second one. Didn't think much of it.
I tried. I've told you about my life. Basically,
You've done everything now.
I've done everything, and I'm just so tired. Stupid bollocks. You know what? This stupid bullshit. I can swear again now. Great.
We took 2 weeks off the fruity language.
Yeah. So this life that it's great. I'm privileged to have it. But getting up early, by the time there's certain times where I'll just watch something on the couch, fall asleep, up to bed I go, I'm done. It's got to the point now where I'm so tired on a night where it's like, if I watch half of something and I quite like it, I'm not saving it for the next night. It has to be amazing, otherwise I'm not going to bother. There are certain nights now where I put something on, fall asleep, trudge up. I cannot remember what I've even selected to watch.
Amazing.
Because I'm so sleepy so quickly. How did I get onto this? What was I talking about?
I don't know. Just bored wrestling, probably.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Gladiator 2.
Oh, yeah, I tried Gladiator as part of this little ceremony that I have.
Doing that.
And it was like, it's like 2 hours 40 or whatever. Yeah. And 30 minutes, I was like, this is pretty good. And I fell asleep. I was like, is it so good that I have to watch it? And
It is class.
Thumbs down. He'll probably, have my vengeance. I've seen the speech.
Yeah.
I've seen everything.
The reason I knew about Red One, I've just remembered, is because I was watching The Rugger over the weekend.
I watched the Rugger.
Yeah. And
Watched the bit at the start, like where
Just on after the footy.
Samoa did their
watched
cool,
the Newcastle game as well. Yeah.
Oh, it was great, wasn't it?
the cool hacker thing that
Yes.
Samoa do. I've been almost certainly disrespectful to whatever theirs is called, but I quite like the ceremony of that. Oh, I saw the game.
So yeah, and at half time they did a tie-in, and they're like, "Oh, now quick word." It's very American. We don't really normally get this on UK sports.
Into this.
And they were like, "Now a word from J.K. Simmons, Dwayne Johnson, all about this," and it's the three of them. I forget who the third person was, trying to be like, "Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the rugby. Well, if you like that, you're going to love our new Christmas movie where we save Christmas, Red One, out on November whatever." And they're like, they're holding a rugby ball like no one's ever held it before. The Rock's just like that. And he's like,
Used to play football.
yeah. He's like, someone's written it for them, so they're like, "You should really try and come and see this movie," or whatever. And I was just like, what the hell is this?
Our box office conversion rate is extremely poor.
Aye.
There's going to be a scrum to try and get to, I don't know.
There's going to be a line outside.
It's going to be trouble. They've got, The Rock's competing with himself, and this Christmas. It's Moana 2.
Now that's more my speed.
I mean, he's going to win.
Moana's goated.
Went to see Disney on Ice on my break. Class.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
What were the
class.
characters on ice for the modern...
You got Moana.
Yeah.
You got Woody, Buzz, Mary Poppins, surprise
She's still kicking
return.
Good for her.
You see the second Mary Poppins?
No.
Not bad.
Don't even like the first.
You're not?
Nah, it's rubbish.
Not Mary Poppins or Bedknobs and Broomsticks guy.
It's too old.
I get it. I liked them when I was a kid. What about the bit where the little kid's twisting on the bed and he goes, "What's this got to do with my
What's
cock?"
this got to do with my cock?
That's what they say.
That's
the line in the
That is the
film.
line. What's this got to do with my gag?
Fat cops and broom dicks.
So yeah, it was a lovely experience for Eric.
Mary Pop it in.
Mary popping in my pussy.
Those are the two films. So those are all
been a while.
Been a while.
old classic Disney. Old classic Disney on ice.
So it's
I don't have any more with this, so. Like obviously, the sex toy story, that's a classic.
Good. Yeah. Mona
Mona.
instead of Moana.
Mona, aye.
Yeah.
The Lion Quim.
A big cock instead of a bug's life.
That's, is that not Pixar?
Oh, yes.
you're crossing the street.
That's Disney and Pixar. Dixar.
is it?
Pixar.
Yeah.
Jumping up and down on the old...
What are the... I can't think of any Disney films.
Throbbing Hood.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. That.
Yeah.
The little sperm aid.
That's really good.
That's good stuff, isn't it?
Sperm aid, yeah.
An American Tail End.
Is Finding Nemo Disney, or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got anything on that?
Finding Cock.
Jesus Christ. Coco instead of Coco.
Yeah.
Put K in there.
Talk about
And
cock.
Anyway, we should get back to turning Fed.
Yes, very good.
Raws tonight.
So, as part of the Crown Jewel stuff, it's sort of implied already at Crown Jewel, but Sami Zayn rejoining the Bloodline. They're set to appear. I've tried to.
Well, he's
do
advertised
my
for this
notes
Raw,
on
is he?
this, and it's like trying to not look at the actual spoilers.
Oh,
but-
no.
Yeah.
Not the spoilers.
Oh, well,
for
I'm
the tape
surprised.
Saudi show.
I assume they just saved this for SmackDown.
Sami
So,
Zayn and the Usos are to appear.
not Roman.
Not as far as I've read. But
Right.
again, I'm
Well, it's going to be...
like the sun. You don't look directly at the spoilers.
Yes. It's going to be... It's going to be Sami Zayn and Jey Uso being on the same page Jimmy looked pissed off with Sami Zayn, even though that was just an obvious mistake. And if anyone should know about obvious mistakes, it was Jimmy Uso, because did you see the match?
See his career.
Oh, big Jim.
So he was spotted talking to Solo before.
So what happened was,
I've sort of had like flash moments.
It was
of
proper
wrestling
old
over the last
school,
2 weeks.
old school Bloodline this week, because like Jay and Sammy bumped into each other in the locker room, and Sammy was like, "Jay, can I have a word with you? Everything that's been going on." And Jay was like, "Yeah, sure." And Sammy looks at Jimmy and goes, "In private." So Jimmy takes 3 steps off camera, and they have this very quiet chat on nationally broadcast television.
Yeah.
And then they have their chat, and then later on, Jimmy's saying, "Jay, man, I don't think Sammy's good for this." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Shh, look." And then the camera zooms in on Sammy and Solo having a private conversation on nationally broadcast television.
Now wrestlers just to magically materialize in the same locations where it's really inconvenient or convenient, depending on
and then
now Jimmy's like, "Oh well, you're talking to him, so God, it's total drivel." I'm tired of pretending it isn't total drivel.
Sammy hits, like a nice reveal, but like hits Solo with that exploder suplex in full view.
That was nice. Yeah.
Physically attacks every single member of the heel bloodline. Accidentally haluva kicks Roman Reigns as Jimmy's like, "What are you doing going for the tribal chief?" It's like, come on. Like,
where are your alliances?
Literally 6 seconds ago, I was across this, mate. So what they'll probably do tonight is tease out the reunion. Maybe they'll say...
There might be some internal conflict.
Yes.
They might agonise over the decisions.
About whether or not he's truly a member of the family or not, because that was what Jay said last week. You wouldn't get it. Like, love you, mate, but you're not family. And it was, ooh... And then Sammy's obviously proven his worth to Jay, at least, who he's there for. I imagine they'll say, well, you're going to have to speak to Roman.
Here's a question. Remember when it was like, oh, Roman's coming back on the same brand as Cody, and there's going to be this like dogfight to be the biggest babyface. Does Roman want it that much? I'm not getting the feeling that he's either, well, he might want it loads and not be good enough or as good as Cody, but I felt like it would be a closer, more competitive race, this. I felt like it would be way more fascinating.
Well... Yes, he was doing right by the family, wasn't he, at the weekend, because he put over Solo. He made, I don't know if he made this, obviously, but the story was served well by Jey Uso having his separate entrance. I really appreciated that. They didn't just immediately put him back by Roman's
great
side.
Faces again.
The tag bit, like Roman's, what the fuck are you going for Jimmy? I'll put my hand out. So, and then obviously losing, he's done right by them. But in much the same way, Bad Blood felt like a political win for Roman. The weekend was a loss, wasn't it? 2 losses, because I didn't even think Cody stood a chance of winning. So not only does he go on last, but then he wins 2. There was absolutely no doubt who the future's top babyface was.
Yeah.
And it was Cody, so... Feels like a monthly little... Because War Games is going to... Like, Roman's kind of got War Games down, hasn't he? That's his, so whatever Cody has to do, he has to spin that as just as important. Yeah. So
4 weeks till Survivor Series?
Yes.
End of November,
last
isn't
Sunday
it?
of the month, yeah. Saturday, whenever it is.
So... And we talked about again on the news about how it's probably going to be 4-on-4, which would make sense to have Sammy as the fourth in there. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're going to have him a tease set up joining the Bloodline, Saudi makes the most sense in terms of just getting you get a pop anywhere, but it's going to get a huge pop in Saudi as it did on Saturday. Yeah,
I mean, again, it's I sort of really I wish I could remember who tweeted this. It was done to mock the whole thing and mock the sort of process, but somebody had used like MS Paint or something like it to do squiggly lines when like everyone in the Bloodline was in the ring, and it was like who trusts who, and it was like Jay trusts Jimmy, Jimmy trusts Roman, Sammy trusts Jay, but and then all. So they've got it that way for a reason, obviously, to try and make the baby faces.
Good that it helps you keep up.
That's it. As did the match.
But it's a handy little
just keep it all times. Who likes it? The heels had to win.
Yeah.
The booking wasn't bad. Like, the heels had to win to be strengthened again. I didn't expect them to go as hard with Solo as they did. So they're trying, at least, I guess, to make the War Games seem unpredictable. And the other way you do that is have the tension either sit between Roman and Jay or Roman and Sammy or both, I guess.
You mentioned Gunther, obviously losing the big crown jewel title match that's
big,
staying in Saudi.
It's my ass.
I mean, physically big.
Yes, okay, I'll grant you that.
This is Heritage Cup stuff, this.
That's rubbish now. The only title that I care about is, of course, the NXT North American title. But now it returns back to the World Heavyweight Championship and a number one contender's fatal four-way tonight to determine Gunther's challenger. Seth Rollins, who defeated Big Bronson Reed, Sheamus, Damian Priest, and the man, am I right in thinking, who beat Damian Priest on Raw last week, the best heel in the business, Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, I don't know where this is going. So a few weeks ago, it was, we're going to get to Punk and Gunther now. Again, I was thinking that's a bit soon, but I guess Survivor Series is something. Seth and Punk remains rumoured as this WrestleMania Night 1 main event, so you would assume the belt has to be in there somewhere, but then how do you sort of visualise Gunther losing it in the meantime? So I don't know. I'm interested, but I just can't see Dominic Mysterio winning. As fun as Gunther and Dominic is, and you can absolutely do heel versus heel because Gunther just becomes a situational babyface, battering out of Dominic Mysterio like that.
In 2 rings.
Not least because I loved the Cody Rhodes match on Saturday, and the handshake with Cody after the fact didn't babyface Gunther, but it was this moment of vulnerability of, you got me tonight, I won't let it happen again. There's a much bigger and more important match between the two of them down the line that they've basically preserved with the entire story of the one on Saturday.
Yeah.
So this would be the time to do Gunther Dominic if you were going to do it while he's at his sort of, not questioning himself, but say Dominic was to win, he could say, well, I saw you lose at the weekend, so why can't I do that?
I like that.
Gunther just laugh. I'll tell you why, mate, because you're terrible and I'm Gunther.
Misplaced confidence. Dominic Mysterio could be good banter.
Me and Liv, co-champions, yeah.
And again, not that I'm suggesting Dominic would somehow win and become transitional, but there's this Punk and Dominic thing where of all the people he wanted for his Madison Square Garden match last Christmas, it was Dominic Mysterio. I don't know. So I could see Dominic winning for that. Individuals, it's not going to go on last. It's going to be very mid-card. Gunther's match at the Survivor Series. If they even do it there, they might just fancy it for a TV match. So there's the most fun avenue to me seems to be Dominic Mysterio.
It's sort of a free hit, isn't it? Sid,
I was just about to use that exact expression. That's worrying that you're in my head. It's a free hit. It's almost got that. Me and Hamlet like this once upon a time when the Royal Rumble, they would just do some kind of experimental world title match.
Bob Ollie.
Yeah, I want to look at that. I don't know why, but I kind of want to look at it. Ziggler and Edge did one where I was like, it's good, this. It's like sort of a pilot for a main event.
Yeah,
run,
I love
really.
that.
Like how sort of...
And Punk, actually. Ziggler had 2 years on the spin, didn't he?
He did. It's like, well,
matches.
all right, okay, well, he's obviously on the cusp. In itself, it was like a bit of a conditioning exercise of, right, okay, well, they're asking me to give this dude a shot. Let's do that. So this is a similar thing where...
Balor and Lesnar with the stomach was maybe the best of the lot. Remember that?
Yeah.
Finn Balor targeting the diverticulitis.
Aye, no, that was really strong. You have the finish for it and the story. Like, Vince McMahon tried to, tarnish it with his Super Mario World chat. That was bizarre. But no, I do like the idea of a lot of Survivor Series' runtime will be gobbled up by terrible War Games matches and painfully trite Bloodline melodrama. They've annoyed me because I was kind of into it a few weeks ago and then they've just done a speed run.
Oh, there was a SmackDown Wilborn that was up there with the Chicago one for the best of the year. Freaking out. Oh my God.
Podcast.
The last half an hour of SmackDown.
I felt something.
The first SmackDown you were off, that was the Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh,
winning the belts.
yeah.
Oh my God.
The booking was absolutely... The booking of that was so good that I can honestly hardly fathom that the last couple of TV shows and PLEs subsequent to that have been so poor.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that you're going to see at least, an hour and 20 minutes, or at least an hour and 15 in that cage alone. Ugh, can't be arsed with that. So, nice little free hit. I don't want Damian Priest. He's already crapped the bed with his main event title run. Don't need to see that. Let's do process of elimination.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Damian Priest has already crapped it.
Grabbed it.
He's already crapped it by doing basically...
Just remembered when you crapping mattresses.
Crapping mattresses. That was CM Punk in SummerSlam. Damian Priest has crapped it as that main event run. Do not need to see him back in that picture at all. He's botching those in those matches like it was going
We're getting that at some point there.
Like it was going out of style.
Him and Gunther had Gunther was like, all right, get back in contention and I'll give you a fair fight. He was basically saying, he was acknowledging that SummerSlam had the Finn Balor involvement.
No, they can do that. You're not going to do that. Do it on those episodes of Raw over Christmas where I don't really watch because I don't have to. Do that then.
There is Saturday night's main event to consider as well. That might be a Gunther title shot show.
Damian Priest has already
Which you will watch because it's the hype package is
I mean,
unbelievable.
it's got fascination and all the rest of it. It's happening. It's happening. So Damian Priest not yet, and please never again. Pretty bad. Seth Rollins, I reckon he could get taken out of it by Bronson Reed because I don't know if you were able to tell us. I don't want to step on the dick of your crown jewel review or nothing like that. But I'm fairly certain that there was like a little indication, a little cryptic clue that at the end of the match they're not finished with each other.
It's not over.
So Bronson Reed could take Seth out. So that leaves Dominic Mysterio and Sheamus. Sheamus is just there for the numbers.
Good law, though.
He beat Ludwig Kaiser last week.
Yeah, waste of everyone's time, that. Boring old fight ski.
Well, not really, because that far be it for me to stand up for WWE, but maybe it's a little thing. I know he won last week. If he beat Ludwig Kaiser last week,
Yeah.
Wilborn, we're going to start doing this on the WWE coverage. How do you like them apples? If he beat, he doesn't care. If he beat Ludwig Kaiser last week, that means he's got a good shot at gunning for the title this week.
They did say, actually, they were trying to position that win. I didn't like the match. Boring hitting each other stuff. Who cares? Stuff for Instagram poses with a high filter. I'm not bothered. It's fake. But they were saying on commentary, they were hitting it pretty hard that this is kind of like an IC title level thing. And they were in Sheamus and Bron Breakkers. I want to look at that. And the Sheamus IC title lore is always kicking around. But you can, I guess when Gunther's world champion, you can always factor Sheamus in because people just want that match again.
Oh, it's always great.
Yeah,
it's always great.
I see some Bron Breakker Jacob Fatu team.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
They had one face off and it was seeing a couple of WrestleManias then, unbelievable.
Their face off, even though I don't think WWE planned it like this, obviously, was can you remember? I can never remember the actual year of the Rumble. I think it was either 2010, 11, 12, that sort of range. Cena and Orton, they're like, come on, one more time, baby.
2010,
one more time. And they're both looking at each other, trying to register this moment. And then they look at the WrestleMania sign, and everyone in the crowd just goes,
"You're joking. Not another one?"
Correct. Think of the absolute emptiness, boredom, incredulity, and ennui that you experienced in that moment. The opposite of those emotions was Jacob Fatu and Bron Breakker.
I never even thought of it.
Yeah.
The business is back.
The business is back. Welcome back. I missed you.
So by process of elimination, we're going Dominic Mysterio.
Correct.
Yeah.
Great. I like that. I like the sound of that. There's also a Women's World Championship No. 1 Contenders Battle Royal. Again, I didn't look too much into this because I don't think they've listed the participants. Rhea's out, right?
Yep. Shoot injured. Probably back for Rumble season, so not the worst time to be on the shelf ski.
Who else is there? We've talked about this a lot with the Raw Women's
Slim
division.
Perkins.
Yeah.
They don't really build anyone, do they?
I
can't be right, though. He's the best booker of all time.
Yeah, not with the women. Terrible women's divisions.
Not with the men, neither.
Well,
I'm joking. He's all right.
He's pretty
He's effective.
He's
He's
pretty
effective. He's effective.
Good. Pretty good, Paul. Exec producer you can trust. I don't I would quite like, at this point, Jade or Bianca, while tag team champions, to get a title shot, or at the very least, appear like they've got ambition beyond this tag team, because it creates division between the two, and you want to be getting to that. I don't know if this Jade Cargill project is working or not, because I think WrestleMania will define if it's been a success. Not just the quality of the match, but then how people feel about how massive that potential match is. They are massive, huge star. Jade Cargill is at her best in a setting like that, and it genuinely won't matter if the build hasn't. Has she really had a good match yet? It's not going to matter. Her and Bianca is WrestleMania from the off. You kind of saw it in the Royal Rumble last year. The tag team has been a nice diversion, but I want to see them now kind of aspiring to that ultimately. I know common sense says, well, you have them lose the titles first, maybe around Rumble season, and then they both just enter the Rumble. But just do it now. Just have one of them. Maybe Bianca wins a Battle Royal, and Jade is fully in support of it. Yeah, you're going to win the title, beat Liv Morgan, and then she falls short because of the interference, and maybe Jade's supposed to help her and doesn't. When Raquel Rodriguez is running interference or something.
They can't coexist.
And that's it. Maybe you start the cracks start showing, that kind of thing. I'm really, really hyped for that. But why not fold in that both women would want to be world champion as well, or WWE champion? It's just Bianca Belair, especially at the moment, is almost being cast as too selfless for her own good. They're tag team champions, things are fine, but it's going to be getting on for WrestleMania season soon, and why would she not want to be in a top singles match this year?
Yeah, beats me.
Looking at the roster, someone like an Io Sky, I know she's just been doing tag stuff.
It's a nice little shortcut to something halfway decent.
Yeah.
She always gets a reaction in these matches. She's been individually, she looks like she wants it again.
Yeah, the singles match with Bianca ruled.
Yeah, that was class.
Kind of
Even
they wrestled Triple H out of bother there pretty much. So.
Yeah. even in the tag, she's been the standout performer, as you'd expect, but she just feels like she's won something substantial again.
I like that because Liv Morgan as well. Oof, boy, like Crown Jewel, another one, desperately needs a good singles match. Desperately. Like Bad Blood stunk, Crown Jewel stunk. I don't care, ultimately. But the credibility of her as champion does require the odd half-decent match to hang your hat on, and she's not had one yet.
Or it could be an NXT star, of course, just randomly showing up. Lash Legend, we know, was on Crown Jewel.
I was going to say, ordinarily, yeah, but it can only really be Lash Legend and Shikara. Lash Legend had a good night, by the way.
I like Lash
I want
Legend
to
at Crown
isolate her
Jewel,
for praise in an otherwise a turkey of a match. Because they sort of like made you wait for what she could do. They made you wait for the Jade Cargill face-off, and like it was one of the only things in that match the fans came up for. So maybe Lash or Jakara, they've been handled pretty well on the main roster so far. So yeah, had them as like outside bets to take the titles, just to take them back to NXT.
Ooh, yeah.
There for a bit, but maybe they've got single stuff in mind for. Io's a good one though, just a guaranteed match.
Yeah.
I would have said Io or Kyrie, but Kyrie isn't the guaranteed match person at this point. So.
Not been for 2 years.
Yeah. The elbow into the pack was nice in the multi-woman, but
let's talk.
Otherwise, who gives it rating?
Who gives a rating?
Let's talk the New Day. What's the latest on them? They are facing the War Raiders tonight, who I'm right in thinking the new number one contenders.
Yeah, Warriors are number one contenders. Really nice bit of character detail. Big E was on the panel at Crown Jewel, and he was like listing off, because it's a short list of the people that have pinned Roman Reigns in the last X number of years. And then Xavier was just popped on Twitter being like, "E, mate, I pinned him." So like as per this, like Xavier Woods is repeatedly feeling a little bit slighted. Did you see Xavier Woods holding Kofi Kingston back from saving R-Truth when the Miz turned on him?
Yes.
There's
some more Wyatt 6 thing they turned.
Yeah, there's some more of that coming because one of our favourites on this podcast has popped
he's even better than ever.
Popped the entire industry last week. They're finally catching on.
Yeah, I saw him.
We are the tastemakers.
Yeah, we are. Definitely with Karrion Kross. We were there before the buildings.
With everything.
But that's now. I think it was yesterday was exactly 10 years since the very first New Day choir vignette, but that was just Xavier Woods.
Yeah, how far away from the reunion are we?
2 weeks, I think. 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, I feel sick.
Or it might be the first Raw December, something like that. But the Viking Raiders getting the title shot has obviously delayed the New Day getting that.
Karrion Kross is incredible, by the way.
So what's the latest on our boy?
The latest is that he wants the Miz to basically act as a human shield to the Wyatt Six.
Miz being a coward resulted in Paul Ellering getting got by Uncle Howdy. So Karrion Kross accosted him and being like, right, well, you're either with us or we'll leave you to the mercy of the Wyatts. And Miz was like, okay, I'm with you then, I guess. And his first task was to find Uncle Howdy last week.
And then Miz was initially a little bit scared. So he's like, I'm just going to run away. And then, Karrion Kross went, hey! It's like, I genuinely jolted. Oh, God. And then he went, you're going to do that, or I'm going to break your legs.
Oh, brilliant.
Break your legs. Why has no wrestler said that in the last how many years? It's amazing. I'll break your legs. What a wonderful collection of words that is.
So there was a story, a tale of two Twitter promos, basically. One was something was happening in the background, and you saw Uncle Howdy grab Miz and drag him onto like a bus.
Brilliant.
He's been got now. And then you see them at the hotel, Karrion Kross and Scarlett back at the hotel, hours. So this doesn't get paid off on Raw. So we're just left thinking the Miz is either dead or with broken legs. And Scarlett's like, the word going around is that the Wyatts might have gotten the Miz. And Karrion Kross is just like, it's getting late. It's like, I mean, he's probably dead.
He's dead for sure.
Scarlett's like, we did send him to get them, so we should probably help. It's like,
I'll give it 10 minutes.
I mean, he's dead, but so you see him having to force himself to get dressed. 11 o'clock, come on. But he's like, fine, I'll get dressed. I suppose we'll try and save the Miz. I mean, he's dead for sure. So
Karrion Kross, we are tastemakers.
Yeah.
Everyone likes Karrion Kross now.
They should, because obviously this was taped in Saudi, they should just air those vignettes this week.
Yeah.
Save the story till next week when they're back in America, because the Karrion Kross in this hotel one is piss funny.
And with the New Day, is this just another case of them losing and then blaming it on each other?
They've got to. Viking Raiders are the number one contenders. You cannot. It's 250-50.
War Raiders now.
Sorry, War Raiders, yeah. Even for WWE, it's 250-50. Just have them lose when they're standing number one contenders.
Yeah, it feels like this is in stasis until the 2 weeks' time.
definitely wasn't using that time, by the way, to look this up, because as we're talking about Karrion Kross, and I know he's got a bit of a eerie presence.
Yeah.
But it does make me think of something that I definitely remember to do, and that's this week's Raw Riddle.
Oh, God, the Raw Riddle gives me the creeps.
Spooky mist.
What word of 5 letters has one left when 2 are removed? That's what word of 5 letters has one left when 2 are removed? Let's tax your noggin until we
Do you know this, obviously?
No, I don't.
No.
Once delivery pops me and Nicholas laughing, makes think he's got it straight away.
Yeah, straight away. That's this week's Raw Riddle.
Go on, move on.
Fox Sidge with a brilliant one.
Move on.
I'm scared.
Fox Sidge with a brilliant one.
Oh,
Do you want a quick run at last week's Raw Riddle, or have you listen to the podcast? Obviously
obviously
you
he did that, but it's
Forget. Forget.
I mean, I tell you what, I did watch one podcast that you did very excitedly, because
you talking off on last week's Raw Riddle.
Anne Louise had my phone and she said, Nicholas has just messaged you. And I'm like, oh, what's he said? Is everything all right? And she went, he just says, even if you've only got 2 minutes, watch this. I'm like, what is it? She said, it looks like it's a link to a... Give me the phone. Collision Cops, spectacular. Just incredible work.
Thank
no
you,
notes.
Adam Nicholas, for...
Thank the producer.
Yeah. That's it, yeah, he kept us busy while they burst into the studio.
Yes.
Knock at the door.
I mean,
We just had a nice game of pool, didn't we?
Yeah, it's cool.
the
They covered Dynamite.
the opening it's better than any I've done ever, I think. Especially with, as you mentioned, with the aviators.
Every now and then, because we thank you everyone that stuck with that whole podcast. It's just a Dynamite review, but we would just look at each other once in a while. I was like, oh yeah, there's one of the Collision Cops, there's Deputy Dax over there.
It reminded me, I saw a bit over the weekend of, because I think everyone was talking about Eric Ten Hag and Man United and that, and they were like on Soccer Saturday, I think it was, doing some like, oh, what do you think about it? And it was like, here's Paul Merson's take on Ten Hag and the state of Man United. And presumably for some Halloween thing, he had this outrageous like yellow suit on, and he's like, oh man, it's an absolute shambles, that club. I was like, look at you, Paul, what are you doing?
David Brent on Comic Relief. I've made people laugh now. Speaking of which,
Oh yeah, the riddle, sorry.
no, last week's Raw Riddle, a rooster is sitting on the roof of a barn facing west. If it lays an egg, would the egg roll to the north or to the south?
Hey, you're coming an old pro with this one. Roosters don't lay eggs, mate. You get that?
Nah, I'm a moron.
You just dedicate your brain power to actually useful things, not
really. The only
stupid
thing
riddles like me.
The only thing my memory's good for is gives the match. I'll tell you what Dave Meltzer rated it. Out of infinity.
Oh, have I missed any wild Meltzer ratings whilst I've been away?
Ooh.
Probably not missing enough good matches. I didn't see the rating. What did he give that Young Bucks private party match in the NXT main?
I was off on Friday, so I don't know.
check.
Oh yeah, what's
The
Halloween?
AEW
What does it go on Halloween Havoc?
Oh, I haven't seen him yet, but I would imagine low across the board.
I didn't. I was off on Friday, so I have not seen the old
check
Observer.
them out.
The game.
When we get
Oh, that's
downstairs.
great. Right, quickly. Last match advertised for this show is a really good one on paper. Dragon Lee versus Chad Gable. There's been ongoing stuff with the LWO.
Yeah.
And look, they're called not American Alpha. American Made.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
your face when you ask that question. Like, oh, a match. Oh, God, it's 40 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Yeah, this is that
It's only
like...
2 hours Raw now. It's easy.
And this
You'll
is
get, I think there's a ceiling on this with it being, the backdrop lowers the ceiling.
it's just very paint by numbers in terms of the Fued as well. Like they've had Ivy Nile and Zelina Vega. There's been both stables run a bit of interference here and there. There was a pretty cool moment actually. Rey Mysterio
Oh,
last
so
week.
bored.
Is it?
Rey Mysterio got ripped out of the number one contenders tag match by Chad Gable, who just appeared out of nowhere and stuck him in an ankle lock on the floor.
Oh, great.
I
love Chad.
It was a pretty cool scene.
That was
It's
good.
Ray and Chad had obvious brilliant babyface heel chemistry. But otherwise, yeah, this match are like... It's going to be good and not pull up any trees, isn't it? Like, it's Dragon Lee and Chad Gable. They're not going to have a bad match. But
It's the kind of match that WWE just doesn't seem to ever want to really do.
yeah,
I still hold true to the idea that the WWE puts on certain matches that would be better in about 10 other promotions and then do things that no other promotion can do story-wise
it's
or
a
collision graphic,
production-wise.
isn't it? Chad Gable and Dragon Lee's a collision
It'd be
graphic.
10 times better on AWTV, this. I'm sorry, it just would. And even at the biggest Fed mark I've ever met, agrees with me.
Yeah, it's going to be fine, but like, the story's just not interesting. And there's 4 of them and 4 of them. What could possibly happen if these 4 came together? Maybe in the Survivor Series. Actually, that'd be better because it'd be something to look forward to.
Dragon Lee in 2 rings.
Yeah.
That'd be tits.
I keep forgetting about 2 rings at the Survivor Series. There has been rumours that they're going to do 1 Raw versus SmackDown match as well.
Ooh.
But I don't know if that's just... Well, because their GMs have been clashing a little bit, and obviously Adam Pearce fell afoul of Randy Orton at the weekend.
Yeah, who's running the show tonight?
So
They need to have a match at Mania, don't they?
yeah, definitely.
That'd be
A
great,
10-minute sideshow.
Aye. It's Sidge clocked a brilliant bit of Wish.com, Adam Pearce from Lieutenant Daniels on Dynamite. Phil Wilborn in.
Right, so you know how Christopher Daniels is just the answer to Adam Pearce that no one really asked for?
Yes.
He is. He
Yeah.
is. So on Raw, to build Reed versus Rollins, Bronson Reed hits Rollins through a table with a Death Valley driver in a backstage area. And Adam Pearce is like, medical! Medical! And that's the exact words he uses. Medical! 48 hours later, John Moxley and the Death Riders, which might be the new name for the new
Ooh, I
BCC,
like
break the hand of Brandon Cutler with a hammer.
Right.
And I was going to call him Adam Pearce. Christopher Daniels, can't say medical, they did it on Monday. Doctor! We need a doctor! So we need a doctor more than we need a f***ing on-screen authority figure. I never f***ing needed that in AEW.
Dr. Daniels.
Dr. Daniels.
So who you got, Dragon Lee or Chad Gable?
Whoa, who could possibly care? I'll go Chad Gable because American Made have taken more losses in this feud thus far. Have they? Is that even true? I even know how beat Zelina Vega. I sod it. I'll go Dragon Lee.
Whatever. What was the
50-50,
result last time?
I even know one, I think, so we'll go Dragon Lee.
Go Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
Cool. I reckon the match will be fun.
Yeah.
But you'll watch it knowing, it could be better, this.
Yeah.
It could always be better, couldn't it? So you agree?
I agree on this one in
right,
particular.
okay.
Not all the time, but on this one, yeah, I agree.
Punk is
And
probably
I've
back
come
now.
back refreshed, open mind. You know me.
Really? Is this
Yeah.
a new play?
I'm really excited to talk about Collision. I
Yeah,
really
same.
enjoyed it. So.
Wait, I did 2 with Sidge, and I was like, this is good.
There's one bit on Collision where I'm like, I usually hate this, but the exexecution of this
I
is
think I know what it
actually
is.
completely goated, actually. I'll show you if I can.
Yeah.
It's so unbelievable stuff.
It was really good.
Like, unbelievable
I know what
stuff.
you're talking about. A Collision review coming your way later on today, as well as the Crown Jewel review. But let us know your thoughts on Raw tonight, either in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch they can follow all 3 of us. You can follow Michael Hamflet at
Michael Hamflet.
follow Michael Sidgwick at
Sidgwick.
follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow our brilliant producer
Great
at
having
It's
proper
Adam
endings
Nicholas.
back, isn't it?
Follow
Me
us
and
all.
Sidge were like frigging Roxanne Perez stumbly bumbling our way through the endings last week. So what's the outro? I can't find the way.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be some good lucha things on the show tonight. Right, thanks to Hamlet Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.